this very virtual and late Friday Oregon Country Fair night. We'd be heading to the Ritz, getting ready for our Fair Family Bird Walk with a fresh cup of bird-friendly coffee with a fresh lump of very natural sugar. Welcome to the Fair Family Bird Walk, 2020 virtual, pandemic style. Group hug, everybody. Love, fair. Something like the song sang and then flew.
Welcome to Community House in the Community Village.
And the KBO booth.
Okay, and in this booth in the Community Village, we have three groups. We have the Klamath Bird Observatory from Southern Oregon Conservation Group, and we have the Master Gardeners of Lane County, and we have Jen Hornaday, who takes care and informs people about beekeeping.
So this is where you can come and ask questions of the Master Gardeners, questions of the bird people, questions about any information you need about the fair, because this is the Community Village's information booth. Community, welcome. We love you.
30th and Lincoln Street is where we can already buy.
So yeah, you'll see some coyote scat on this trail. You've also seen bobcat and
6 feet.
Captured bear in the winter on our cameras. Ooh. Last year was a big year for stoat, for long-tailed weasel.
Maintaining distance. Swainson's thrush. Carrying something, maybe some food back to the nest, huh?
Like it.
Swainson's thrush at nests at booth 661 and 62, and they take care of it every year when they come. They take care of our nesting birds. The Swainson's thrush. Everybody gets woken up by the Swainson's thrush. With some harp music in the background.
That's wonderful.
It's a western tanager singing. The western tanagers are getting frisky on this backside loop. Oh, there he is.
Oh, nice.
That's our tanager.
This is?
This is the main stage. Raven off in the distance. Western tanagers singing. I think there's a warbling vireo out there. We'll get closer. Fair Family Bird Walk 20. We found a nesting raven. Okay, Glenn. Purple finch, wood pewee, and a brown creeper. Trees, trees, beautiful trees. There it was. Trees, trees, beautiful trees. There's black-throated gray warblers in this forest. That was its song. It's a daredevil.
Stage.
Daredevil stage in the floodplain.
With the decking off, and there's a chickadee there. And every year there's a pair of Swainson's thrush that nest on this hillside. Fortunately, they typically most years they'll fledge their young just days or even hours before the fair is open to the public.
Chickadee-dee-dee. Chickadees. Yeah. It's a robin. Chickadee. Ravens or crows? Ravens. Crows?
Crow. Here.
Crows.
There are ravens around this year.
That's that chickadee-dee-dee. There's a robin collecting nesting material. It'll build a nest, and then the fair will make sure to protect that nest in a normal year when there's thousands of us here. This year, they're pretty much on their own. Each morning, the cartographers welcome us to their deck overlooking the Long Tom to celebrate the great work they do here, mapping. We love you, cartographers. Thank you.
There's cutthroat in the Long Tom, and we do have a population of native western pond turtles. We do occasionally see sliders, one of the non-native turtles around.
That was the song sparrow with the beautiful, loud, boisterous double note start to its complicated. There it goes again, song. Shh. No shushing. Be quiet.
Yeah, so this part of the property is still connected to the floodplain. Here's the Long Tom River, and a pretty good mix of tree species in here. You have oaks and maple and some ash scattered in. Elsewhere on the property, it's mostly ash. There's also a significant number of very old yew trees, which may portend to slightly a different forest structure in the past.
Yeah, that's a rare one. That's very cool.
And over here, that you can see a log jam. Most the larger trees are all relics from when log rafts were taken down the Long Tom. There's a mill, there's a river, and this log jam does move. A lot of years it'll shift, up to 5 or 10 meters downstream.
Oh.
So these old bottomland hardwood forests, they're hard to come by in Oregon nowadays, but the Oregon Country Fair site is home to one of the most magnificent. Some of the oldest yews known to occur in the Willamette Valley live here. Where are we?
You are here.
How do you spell that?
Nice yew tree here, the understory.
The mighty and ancient yew.
They always have so much lichen, tons of lichen and very little foliage. Yeah, but they're there. Classic yew needle structure, small ranked leaves, kind of flimsy, dark green on top, and always light green underneath with no stomatal bloom, so you won't see any silvery texture like you would in, say, a western hemlock.
Or Douglas fir.
Or Douglas fir.
Or song sparrows by the river. Lots of bird life this year at the fair. As with every year, but they seem to be really doing it. What do we have there? Some goldfinch action?
What was that just went?
I think we had goldfinches playing around out there.
I was going to say, it looks like a goldfish.
Top of that snag. Wow. Say that again, Aaron.
The spotted towhee, it's
Yeah.
a male using that as a song perch, broadcasting far and wide. Kind of an unusual spot to see a towhee that high up with no vegetation like that. Providing us a nice look through the binoculars.
We wouldn't expect spotted towhees at the fair to behave completely normally. Soft-leafed hazelnut, native vegetation along the Long Tom, on the shore of the Long Tom.
Yeah, so this is where the bridge gets put up every year to get rid of the first egg.
Yeah. You guys put a bridge up and take it down, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. This year, to get to the far side, you're going to have to wade. Fine line to the far side. The fine line beyond which we really can't fake. With inner
sang and then flew off. Bow.
Oregon Junco, or maybe an orange crown. Sometimes they're hard. Let's listen. Sometimes the ornithologists don't always agree, especially when it's late night, early morning at the fair.
Down here at the bottom, if you look at
It's like the older leaves.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You could just
I'm curious because there's so many more leaflets per leaf than we typically find on Oregon ash.
Yeah.
I think it might not be Fraxinus latifolia. It might be something else. We gotta investigate. Also, its growth form. It's growing more like a shrub. So could this be an elderberry?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say elderberry.
Yeah, I would agree with you. There's an ash right where we're just standing under that large hole we're looking at there. That's ash, and it's true. The leaves are more obate, less lanceolate.
Yeah.
Sir Lancelot.
So yeah, here on East 13th, there's quite a bit of grass. You don't see this usually during the fair. This was hydro-seeded, I believe, last year, and then once there's a lot of traffic on it, it tends to disappear. But this year, without the crowds, it'll probably get good root establishment and set seed, and hopefully we'll have a grassier 8 in years to come.
Little gray BB, that's right, purple finch, female. Like it's head to the nest, which is being protected by this beautiful bottomland hardwood forest that the fair stewards with great care.
Spotted towhee, it's like it's gathering food to bring back to its nestlings. Put my phone next to where I put the young and walked over here, and within about 10 minutes, the adults came in and checked out, the sound of where my phone was, but then they found their babies and started feeding them again.
No way.
In decades past, as the sun came up, this place would be raging with drums, and the drums are beating in our heart this year as we're together, spiritually thinking about our fair and how it brings us all together and connects us with the birds. Drum tower marimba, take 6, action. Maintaining 6 feet. Thank you, Aaron. We're at the chalupas, and we're hoping we can hear this of the Pacific Slope flycatcher. There it was. The robin in the background, raven, warbling vireo. That pew, it's a western wood pewee. It's a flycatcher, long distance migrant bird. Pew! Travels from Central America and beyond where it spent its winter to come and nest here.
Yeah.
Ooh, Western red cedar, first one I've seen out here. Trick with this one, break open the needles, give it a little whiff. Delightful.
Part of the fair stewardship program is the wonderful work that the archaeology crew does, documenting things like the history of the Kayapuya, so we can be thankful and appreciate the cultures that were here before us and that will hopefully be here with us into the future.
Okay, so my name's Lane, and I came out to the Bear property today to just walk around and see how the place looks with nobody here. And the thing I found about it was that the animals love there not being people here. I got to see a bunny, been getting to hear a bunch of swainson's thrushes, which is a sound that I was really going to miss, so I'm glad I got to do that. And overall, it's just a lovely day here at the fair.
Thank you. It's good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Hey Jen, we're missing you this year. Celtic Designs, big shout out. Our babies grew up crawling around this little thing. We love you, Jen. We'll see you next year.
I just saw a couple of them going there too.
Teeny.
It is pretty old. It's old. That's a big oak.
Here we are, Xanadu.
Fan-tailed pigeons flying by.
Fan-tailed pigeons flying through this beautiful giant old oak tree.
I always take that as a good sign.
It's a really important area for all of our families down here on this side of the fair. And this is the home of the stewardship. So Glenn was the inspiration of the Fair Family Bird Walk and one of the leaders of the stewardship. Welcome virtually, Glenn. We miss you. We love you, brother.
Welcome, Glenn.
What do you got to say? What's the stewardship program, Glenn?
Oh, the stewardship program, we try to highlight the Oregon Country Fair organization's sustainability and stewardship programs. For example, the wildlife team that Aaron and I have helped start, and the different partners around the fair. For example, the Klamath Bird Observatory in Community Village, the archaeologists in Ark Park, the veg manics over at Stumps of Mystery. We partner with all these different fair efforts to try to highlight what the fair organization is supporting on site as well as off site, and our off site partners, such as the folks in Community Village, for example, or at Energy Park, and what the fair organization is doing to help springboard these different sustainability efforts in our community, as well as the site stewardship work that we're doing on the site, helping protect and preserve our natural resources there. So we have a stage, we have different displays there at the stewardship, and we invite people from the different parts of the fair to come and do talks about their programs at the fair. And then we also have a passport program where we send people out into the fair to get their passport books stamped. So we might send people to Energy Park or Community Village, Ark Park, the library. We have different partners with that effort. So we get people that get their passport books stamped, and they turn them in and they win prizes like passes to the fair and other great stuff.
Thank you so much, Glenn, for all you and your shipmates at the stewardship do for the fair and for the education for all of us. We love you. We miss you. We'll see you next year, Glenn.
Sounds great. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your support in the stewardship and everything you're doing. It's great to be on the bird walk.
Yeah, brother. You haven't missed one yet.
Out there for you.
All right, see you, Glenn.
Boom. Sounds good. Nice.
What are you doing next week? You're doing surveys here?
So next week will be the second round of surveys and point count surveys, and basically we gridded out the whole property with a survey grid at 250 meter intervals, and go to each point and stand quietly for 5 minutes and record every bird you detect in the distance from the observer, both birds you hear and birds you see. And this is going forward, we'll provide a baseline. We can hopefully detect trends in the more common species, whether they're increasing or decreasing, and we can develop distribution maps for the entire property. So it'll be a good visual aid to teach people about what species occur in different habitat types. Some are restricted to along the river, some are restricted to the uplands where we have conifer trees. Some, like common yellowthroat and willow flycatcher, use marshy habitat with lower emergent woody vegetation.
That's cool. That's amazing work.
Yeah, and it's fun.
Yeah.
To see parts of the property I haven't been on before.
It's really cool that there are so many different habitats meshed together here as well. So you really,
It's a beautiful mosaic of habitat types that are structurally different enough that they host different bird communities, different bird assemblages from one location to the next.
so close together. Too.
As we always do, finishing the bird walk in shameless summer drama camp. We love you, Fair Family. We'll see you in 2021.